All right, everyone, last question. So the question on the test actually has a 7-sided figure, and even though I wrote 7-sided figure here, this is actually a 6-sided figure in this question. And we want to find the area. So the important part to remember here, guys, is that once we find the area of one of these triangles, we can just multiply it by 6, right? Because there's 6 pieces that are exactly the same. That's the part of what a regular polygon means. So you just have to remember, how do I find the area of a triangle? And that is 1/2 the base times the height. So basically a triangle is half of a rectangle, right? Base times height is how you find a rectangle. So 1/2 the base times the height of one of these triangles. So we know the base, we know part of it. We know the base is 8. It says the base is 8. Okay, so here's the tricky part, you guys. How do we find the height? And I'm actually going to give you one more piece of information because we have to find the height. In the question on the test, they actually give you the side length of one of these sides, and that would be, well, in this particular case, it's going to be 8 because these are all 60-degree angles, which makes these equilateral triangles. But bear with me, because on the test, you won't be able to just figure, oh, well, you still need to find the, anyway, you still need to find the height, which is what we're going to do now. So forget I just said that. So I know that this is 8 from here to here, but that's not the height, right? That's the side length. So I need to figure out this height. Well, when I draw this, it's called an apothem, straight down to make a right triangle. I know I am bisecting this leg. So if it's 8 all the way across, then this is 4. So all I have to do is use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so I know the base is 8 already, right? So I can I'm just looking for the height. And I can find the height by using the Pythagorean theorem. So if I call this x, what I want to know, I'm going to have 4 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared. So 16 plus x squared equals 8 times 8 is 64. 16 was 4 times 4. Subtract 16 from both sides. I'm going to do some mental math here, so please let me know if I'm incorrect. If you catch any of my mistakes on videos, I'll give you a treat if you come and let me know, and I agree with you. 64 minus 16 should be 48. And then we take the inverse of squaring something as a square root. So x, our height, is just equal to the square root of 48, which is, I'm going to put that in my calculator, approximately 6.93, approximately 6.93. So now I'm going to put that in for the height, 6.93. Parenthesis. Remember, this is just for one of the triangles. When I figure this out, I need to multiply it by 6. So actually, I'll just do this on the outside, that whole thing times, because there are 6 of those triangles. And then here, I'll show you how I'm going to put it into the calculator. Let me open the calculator here. I can just put it all in at once. Okay, so I have, and it's all multiplication, so actually your order of operations is set. 6 times 0.5, but I would use 0.5 because if you use half, you're going to have to put that in parentheses. Times 8 times, or I guess you could just use 4 instead of 1/2 times 8. 6.93. So the area of that entire hexagon is approximately, because remember I still have rounding error because I rounded that one, 167.11. Cool. Like I said, yours has 7 sides, but other than that, it should be pretty close to this. And we already did a 7-sided figure as one of your warm-ups, so you might want to grab that and look at that too.